We are with State Representative Julio Cortes from the 38th District. Today I want to ask you about the committees that you serve on. Let's start with transportation.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be a member of the Transportation Committee. It's a committee where we talk about transportation projects that affect the state. So anything from highway projects to bridge projects to community projects that are going to allow our communities to move from place to place, make sure that folks can get to work, make sure that visitors that come to the state are able to visit the very different geographical parts of our state, like Eastern Washington, Western Washington, and our waterfronts. So moving people around is a big goal that we have in our Transportation Committee. There's definitely some challenges that we're facing right now as far as transportation projects go. Revenues are not coming in as expected, so we're looking actively at innovative ways to raise transportation revenue so we can make sure that we don't only keep projects in the timeline that we hope to keep them in, but that we can also address our growing population, right? We need to make sure that we can expand projects in a way that's going to really affect the way folks in our state move.
Then the next committee that you serve is
Human Services, Youth, and Early Learning. I'm lucky enough to be vice chair of that committee. I did spend almost 10 years working with at-risk youth and families early in my career. So we do have a few big bills that are going to be affecting quite a bit of folks, some having to do with child safety and fentanyl. I'm passing a couple bills around the youth criminal justice system. And although this bill didn't go through this committee, House Bill 1929 having to do with behavioral health issues, I do have an op-ed out in the Seattle Times that I hope folks can read to learn more about the issues that we're seeing around our community regarding homelessness and some of the strategies that we can take in order to break that cycle of homelessness in our communities.
And lastly, a committee that has a really long name.
I think it's the committee with the longest name. It's the Innovation, Community, and Economic Development and Veterans Committee. That committee focuses quite a bit on economic opportunities in the state. Right now, I'm working with a few folks around the World Cup, which is very exciting, which is coming in June, July of 2026. I'm supporting a couple of budget provisos that will support our tourism industry. There's going to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of new visitors that come to our state for the World Cup. So we want to make sure that they understand the many wonderful opportunities there are in our state to visit our parks, our waterfronts, and our cities and towns across the state. And of course, there are some updates that we need to do to Lumen Field in order to meet FIFA requirements to house the 4 to 6 games that we're going to be having here in the Seattle area. But really, this is going to be a huge economic boost for the entire state.